Well, um, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. It had to be done. I finally caved in, and I'm playing Astrobiotics. Shun me. Unsubscribe from my channel. Don't ever watch my videos again if you hate it. But well, as you can see from my hand, it's not your typical Astrobiotics even, because I basically spent my influence on 2 Biotic labels and the other 9 influence all went to Grail Ice. So that's that. So let's get straight into the game. There's no need to introduce this too much since everyone's familiar with Astrobiotics. He first runs my R&D. He brings out his Mimic to counter the Lancelot and gets an Astro Script out of it, which is unfortunate for me, but at least I have the combo in hand myself. And because I forced out his Mimic, and he knows I'm running Grail Ice, he cannot afford to run until he finds another clone chip or SMC and has some credits. He's pretty poor right now because he was forced to tutor the Mimic to break my Lancelot Merlin. So that's the good news. I actually have quite a bit of scoring window so long as I get my Sen out, but unfortunately he actually trashes it, which is a very smart thing to do. He's very poor now, but hey, at least I'm keeping him on his tippy toes. So as you see, he's basically face checking every card, which is a mark of a pretty good player. It does slow him down quite a lot, but what he wants to do here is to sweep all my Sen City Grid, sweep my daily business shows, and ensure that I'm not up to any hijinks if I sneak out an Astro Script or a Bill or something. And I wouldn't dare anyway because he has 2 agenda points already. So I start getting my money up. With Pet Campaign and Marked Accounts, I should be able to do a pretty decent job. The question is, can I get up and running with my first Astro Script before he gets set up? Because once he finds all 3 breakers, my ice is pretty porous to him. At least Grail Ice is more taxing than your typical Astrobiotic suite. Consider that the typical Astrobiotic suite relies on Tollbooth, Architect, and Eli, all of which Kate has a very good answer for. In fact, the most taxing ice is Architect, which costs 2 credits to break. Eli only costs 1 with Sabira's Lady, and Tollbooth costs 1 with Femme Fatale. So yeah, that is something to keep in mind. I've been losing a lot of credits. I can't get to the magic 8 credits that you need to res a Sen and score the Astro Script, but I don't need to anyway because I haven't found my Sen after getting 1 trash, and neither have I found a Biotic label. So credits are not the priority right now. Right now the priority is to get my ice set up to ensure that he doesn't get an easy run. So that's 2 layers on ice on both HQ and R&D. He must figure that HQ has at least 1 Astro Script, and he would be right about that, but he cannot afford to check it yet. Alright, so now the good news is that I finally have my money set up, and with some good ice on my centrals, I can begin thinking of scoring my Astro Script. And so this is exactly what I do, except that I'm going to lure him into running my server. I know that playing against prepaid Kate, what you want to do is to lure out the Cyber Cypher unnecessarily. This should hopefully slow them down by forcing copies of Scavenge and Clone Chip to reposition the Cyber Cypher. So here he does a very smart thing. Instead of going for my remote, he attempts to hit R&D with Maker's Eye. And because he installed the Cyber Cypher, there was no point in me resing the Merlin, which I put on R&D. So I just res the pop-up window and allow him to see 3 cards. He didn't see anything because all my agendas were in archives. That was a big mistake on his part. He should have checked archives before running R&D because that would have increased the agenda density in R&D. He would probably have gotten at least 2 or 3 agenda points worth of agendas had he ran archives before doing the Maker's Eye run. Alright, so he tries again. This time I do res the Merlin because it still taxes him for 3 credits. Not every day can you say that you can tax Kate for 3 credits, but that's exactly what I do here. And I chose Merlin on R&D for a simple reason. It is much more resilient to Parasite than Lancelot and especially Galahad. Alright, so here I continue building up my remote. He has to contest it right now. And sure he does. He scavenges the Cyber Cypher onto my remote and performs a stem hack run. So that was a very smart move by him. I tried to capitalize on the scoring window, noticing that he only had 5 credits to his name, but A single stim hack does the job, and I can only keep him out for so much. He actually managed to scavenge both his Cyber Cipher, and yeah, make a successful run at the same time. Now this will cost him a lot of credits, but he will still get through, and he will trash the Sensen City Grid that is over there. Thankfully, I didn't install the Astro script. I only installed a Jackson Howard, which meant that I could sack the Jackson Howard to recur the Sensens, and then he trashes the Sensen in my remote. So now it's time to go for the Astro script for real. Seeing that he's on 5 credits, this should be my scoring window. Hopefully he doesn't challenge it. We'll see what he does. In the meantime, I get a daily business show on the remote. That could be a good move. And the moment he scavenged the Cyber Cipher away from my remote, I heave a huge sigh of relief. That worked. The Astro script is going to get scored next turn. So yes, as you see, he basically wasted 2 scavengers on hopping his Cyber Ciphers left and right. And that is one of the ways in which you can counter prepaid Kate, which is otherwise a very strong archetype right now. So I take the pop-up window, and I don't hesitate to score the Astro script. So yeah, little mistake by him there, not checking the remote, but that's the power of Grail Eyes. With Grail Eyes, you can actually employ tactics like this, create taxing servers where the runner just doesn't want to run them, very unpleasant servers, and then punish them when you can actually slip an Astro script through the cracks. So no need for Sensen or Biotic Labor, that does the job, and I chain it into the next Astro script, noticing that I do not install a new server because he just got his Astro Lab up. In retaliation, he indexes me, so this is pretty nasty, and it's something that I cannot counter. There are no Jacksons on the board. So I do tax him for 3 credits a run. At least there's that. He's not that rich for a prepaid kit, thankfully. Hopefully he sees lots of NAPD contracts. He won't be able to steal them this turn, simply because he doesn't have enough money. We'll see what he does after this. Maybe that will give me some insight into the cards that he saw on the top of R&D. So he's down 3 credits. The only things he can steal are views and breaking news. And if they are on the top, he would want to steal them right now. All the Astro scripts are gone. He does run through, which means that there was an agenda. It was a view. So he liberated it. So now we are tied, 4 points apiece. I still have a couple of agendas in my hand. Scoring the view out now would definitely be an option, and in retrospect, that was what I should have done. Scoring the view, knowing that I have 2 breaking news in my hand, surely I can tutor one of them quickly. And yeah, by scoring the view, I'm basically forcing him to run my hand to perform a legwork, because scoring a view means that I'm very confident that I have the breaking news in hand. So if I can bait out his legwork, it will work heavily in my favor, because he's so poor, he won't be able to even steal the 1 NAPD in my hand. So I should have scored out the view with the Astro script, but instead I attempted this very sneaky play. I attempted to score a 3-point view by installing and advancing in the remote and protecting it with an ice. So if he thinks that this is an NAPD, he can attempt to not contest the remote. But smart enough, he played same old thing, stim hack. I should have seen this coming. The same old thing was on his board. All he needed was an SMC install, and he was able to get through. He wasn't able to break the quandary because he didn't have the Cyber Cipher. And the other thing was that the ice that was protecting the remote server, the outermost ice, was a wraparound. If I rest that, he wouldn't be able to get through because he needed another Cerberus. That's the other way to tax Kate, by forcing down the Cerberus tokens. But he had more than enough credits from the Stim hack, so I decided just to let the view go. So this was a huge mistake on my part. Maybe I should have revs the wraparound. That could have changed things, but right now it doesn't matter too much. Yeah. Actually, on second thought, I really should have res the wraparound. That was a huge mistake on my part. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Resing the wraparound means that I won't be able to score the build next turn, even if it's for the regular 2 agenda points, but at least I had a chance of keeping him out of the server. The way this played out, he didn't spend his Steam Hack credits on clone chip or anything because he was afraid that was an NEPD and he would require the credits to steal it. Turns out it was just a bill. So that's a minor victory. I wasted his Steam Hack credits in a sense, but giving him 6 agenda points is not good. So I had to rush the win out, and here I did it by scoring out the real NAPD. Now, there's nothing he can do to stop this, unless he can play a lucky find and challenge my server immediately or something to that effect. And even then, I know that I have a wraparound on my remote to res, which will stop him cold because he has no tutors for the second Cerberus. So now he's basically forced to play lots of diesels. He didn't find any burst economy at all, which really helps, which means that it extends my scoring window right now. But I'm pretty poor myself, and that's a product of him trashing all my pet campaigns. If you realize early on in the game, I had 2 pet campaigns. He trashed them once they were res, both times. And that really hurts. I really needed the pet campaigns to go off. I wouldn't be in this situation if not for it. So I think he made the good choice by trashing my asset economy. Alright, so here he attempts some legwork. I know it's a futile legwork. There are no agendas in here. They are all pumped out already. So I basically just res the pop-up window for free money. At this point, I have my other win condition in hand, which is Biotic Label. If I see an NAPD, I can win by using Biotic Label and chaining it into the Astro Script token. Unfortunately, I don't have enough credits to make that play yet, but I still keep the NAPD in my hand. So right now, I just need to see a breaking news or a view. And he runs R&D. I obviously have to text him. He is doing the right thing right now by making sure I don't top deck the winning agenda, and because of that, he wins the game. So, sorry for the very fast commentary, but I think there's a lot to learn from this, even though it's a very boring Astrobiotics deck and a very standard prepaid kit deck. For starters, Sense and Biotic Label are not your only options to score agendas. As you saw how I scored the Astro Script, that was really taking advantage of scoring windows. And what I love about the NBN agenda suite is that it's so flexible. Being able to score a 3-pointer view for instant victory is really sweet and something that many runners don't expect. But in this case, my opponent was way too good for that. He challenged my remote and got his agenda points that he deserved, denying my win. I could have played this a lot better. Yeah, there were a lot of mistakes made, but one thing that you have to know is that the Grail Ice suite is actually very strong against Kate, which is very surprising because you would think that with Clone Chip and SMC, Kate wouldn't be too afraid of running into Grail Ice, especially since they have the Destroyer and AP subtypes as well. As it turns out, he didn't run HQ for most of the game because he was afraid that there was a Merlin on HQ. And that, I think, goes back down to the weakness of playing Cyber Cypher in Kate. That is something you really have to exploit as the corp if you want to even stand a chance of winning against Kate. That is, to text their Code Gatebreaker, which has the weakness of being directable at only one server. And because of that, my agendas, my Astro Script in my hand, the one that I started with, stayed safe the entire game until I had to score it out. Because he could never challenge my HQ. And yeah, that was a big reason why I even got this close to winning. That's something worth thinking about. Thanks for watching and happy net running. Goodbye.